Picture this: Erich Fromm sitting in a dim Berlin cafe in the 1940s, scribbling notes not about war or politics, but about what it really means to be human. He's obsessed with a question that's still gnawing at us today: are we products of genes, society, or something we create ourselves? Fromm's answer: it's a wild mix, but the real kicker is this: living well is an art, and you're the artist. But how do you find your unique style? Fromm noticed Western culture often treats people like commodities. But what if that market mindset is poisoning how we value ourselves and each other? Here is how he cracks that nut wide open. In 1947, Fromm described how people in capitalist societies start measuring themselves like stocks on Wall Street, constantly checking for market value, popularity, status, money. Imagine someone like Mr. Schmidt, a mid-level banker in New York, feeling worthless because his social price drops. Fromm saw this not just as economics, but as a cultural disease eating away at true identity. Think of your personality like a precious painting. If you slap a price tag on it and sell copies, you lose the original's soul. Fromm argues self-love isn't selfishness, but a deep respect for your unique creation. The paradox: to truly love yourself, you have to resist society's urge to compare and commodify. It's the difference between owning art and becoming art's slave. Fromm believes conscience isn't just guilt for bad deeds, it's your internal compass toward growth and love. Rather than fearing conscience, he invites us to see it as a friend whispering, "Are you living your truth?" This transforms ethics from rigid rules to personal, creative life choices aligned with reason and love. Fromm noticed that not all people live the same way. He mapped out character orientations, ways we relate to the world that shape our happiness and productivity. Let's dive into these blueprints. In post-war America, Fromm observed the rise of the market-oriented man. He met countless folks like Alice, a young saleswoman treating relationships like transactions. Their self-worth hinged on external approval as if they were products on display. This orientation creates a person who's always selling, rarely satisfied, drowning in a sea of others' expectations. Picture society as a pendulum swinging between two extremes: the receptive type who passively takes and the exploitative type who aggressively takes. Both live outside themselves, disconnected from genuine creativity or love. Fromm's analogy highlights how these opposing forces trap people in cycles of dissatisfaction, unable to tap their true potential. The antidote: Fromm calls it the productive orientation, living rooted in reason, love, and authentic self-expression. It's like breaking free from puppet strings to paint your own masterpiece, deciding your values instead of absorbing others. It's not passive or manipulative, but actively creating your life's meaning. Forget rules writ in stone. Fromm flips ethics into a personal quest toward love and reason. How does he get us from moral confusion to living a genuinely ethical life? Fromm warns us that selfishness is often confused with self-love. He tells the story of Anna, who spent years chasing pleasure alone, leaving friends and family behind. At first glance, she seemed self-loving. But Fromm shows that true self-love builds bridges, not walls, nurturing both oneself and others simultaneously. He paints happiness not as a pill to swallow, but as the artful unfolding of your unique human powers. Imagine a sculptor chiseling an unknown block into a breathtaking statue. We don't find happiness. We create it by developing our talents, insight, and capacity for love. That's where meaning arises. Fromm sees conscience not just as a set of commands, but as a living dialogue between your reason and your heart. When you listen, odd as it sounds, your inner voice helps you navigate complexity. Ethics becomes less about blame and more about crafting your personal masterpiece, an invitation to paint with bold strokes. Remember Fromm's old cafe, notebook open, wrestling with what it means to be truly human. You're not a product on a shelf, not a pawn of genes or culture. You're a creative force tasked with crafting your life's unique art. So tonight, try this: identify one way you're selling yourself short, then rewrite that story from your own brushstroke. That's where freedom begins. Subscribe for more book summaries like this one.